Hey guys, morning. Let me set up the room real quick and then we can get started. 6:22, so we got about 8 minutes till market open. Let me finish setting this up on YouTube. Today's July 28th. It's all set up. All right, guys, looks good. Everything looks solid. Let me go ahead and send this Zoom link out to you guys real quick. Zoom link sent out. This set up real quick. Mic plugged into. All right, guys, morning. Let me let everybody into the room real quick and we can get started. So we got about 6 minutes till market open. We still got some time, so there's no rush. This YouTube link sent out to the rest of the guys here as well. All right, everybody's still making their way in. All right, cool. Link's been sent out to everyone over here. And it looks like we're good to go. So I'll go ahead and analyze US 30 real quick before the market opens. Let's see, it's 6:25 right now, so we have some time. But the market is about to open in about 5 minutes. So let me go ahead and take a look at US 30 real quick. Looking at US 30 right now, on the 10-minute, we have a bullish bias. We also have a bullish bias on the 1 hour. Also on the 3-minute bullish bias, and lastly on the 1 minute, a bullish bias as well. The reason why we have these bullish biases here is because price is above the pivots. The trend meter is also green, and it's similar across the entire board, meaning everything's pretty much the same. The bias is the same on the 10-minute because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. Same on the 3-minute, price is above the pivots, the trend meter is green. Lastly, on the 1 minute, price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So we have a technical confirmation of a bullish bias. The fundamental side, we have a bullish bias as well. Reason for that's because the index is green right now. This is the future. Once the market opens, we'll see what the current daily index is looking like. Looking over at the market sentiment, majority of people are short, so this is perfect. Everything's lining up for a buy, but retail traders are short, so this is exactly what we're looking for. We're going to see where this goes in the next couple minutes or so. We have 4 minutes till market open, so we'll see if this continues to push up higher. But just looking at everything here, I mean, for the most part, everything's pretty bullish, right? So we're going to be looking for a buy. If we don't get that buy on open, then we'll start looking for some buys for some scalps. Let me check the news real quick to see if there's anything this morning. Today at 7:30, there's USD medium news, crude oil inventories, and then at 11, they have the FOMC statement with federal funds rate. And then lastly, at 11:30, they have the FOMC press conference. So the Fed is speaking today. This is normal. They have this like once a month where the Fed speaks about the basically just about the economy. They didn't have this before, but after COVID happened, obviously, we needed to be up to date with what's going on in the U.S. economy. So we'll see what happens with the market today. This is probably going to cause some volatility in the market. So I'm probably not going to trade on the 1 minute. If I do, I'll let you guys know. But today's going to be a little risky on the 1 minute because I do see some volatility in the market. Well, it could be one way or the other. It'll either be very volatile or it'll be very flat. Because some people might be too afraid to trade during a high news event like this, so they just don't trade during New York session. However, some people might be trading and they might be gambling, right? So there's going to be two different people in the market. There's going to be people who are going to be conservative and not trade. That'll cause the market to be slow because there's not going to be much volatility. And there's going to be other people who are going to be gambling because they're going to be betting on where price is going to go based off this news here. So we'll see what happens here. So looking over at, let's see. So this news is estimated to be positive. The crude oil inventory is at 730, but that shouldn't really affect the breakout. It's 628 right now, so we have about 2 minutes to market open. Once we get that confirmation that we can possibly look for an entry here, we're still looking for a buy. So I'm going to just have this set up here just in case. So let me go ahead and make sure that everyone's in the room. Looks like everyone's here. Let me check the chat real quick. Let's see who's here. Morning, Active. Morning, Peter. Morning, Mark. Morning, Essa. Morning, Adrian. Morning, Abraham. Morning, Taryn. Morning, William. Morning, Miles. Morning, Matt. Morning, Kenneth. Morning, Angela. Morning, Sam. Morning, Bradley. Morning, Rav. Morning, Kyle. Morning, everybody. So everybody's making their way to the room right now. We have about 40 seconds to market open. So once market opens, we can determine, which direction we'll be trading. So let's see. Looking here on the other time frames, we still have a bullish buy. So here on the 1 minute, we're going to need a buy signal. We need a buy signal with a strong bullish candle, meaning a green candle with little to no wick on the top side. Looking over here on the fundamentals, it's still bullish here as well. So let's see what happens once the market officially opens. So we got about 10 seconds till market open. So let's see what happens here. Hey Wes, good morning. Morning, Dalmas. Morning, everybody. All right, so here we go. Market's open. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Riga. Morning, everybody. Looking at this right here, here's an open of the candle. We need a bullish buy signal here in order for us to take this buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals, let me just refresh this real quick. Majority of the stock index is green. We have a strong buy, so it looks like it's going to buy today. Looking at the daily index, it is also in green. Let me check. Let's see, yeah, it's also in the green. So all of the bullish confirmations have confirmed. We have a technical confirmation of a bullish bias. We have a fundamental confirmation of a bullish bias. We just need a confirmation of a buy signal here and a strong green candle. If we get both of those, we can take this for a buy. And it's perfect because it's going to be going against the retail traders. So we're not going to enter here yet. You guys got to wait for that confirmation. Don't just enter right away. If you enter right away for a buy, this is where you get caught in these traps. You guys got to wait. And just keep in mind that today is a heavy news day. So expect some unusual movements in the market. But yeah, just looking at everything right here, you can see this whipsaw. They're probably trying to trap some more sellers right here. So you can see that price is kind of dropping a little bit right here. They're just trapping sellers before it spikes all the way back up. So just keep that in mind. You guys don't want to fall for these traps. Looking at the daily index over here, daily index is it's around, all right, like just around the middle. So it's not really that high, but you can see here that the market's starting to shift a little bit. We just need this confirmation here of a buy signal plus a strong bullish candle in order for us to take this trade. So we got about 15 seconds left on this candle right here. Yeah, Sisu just confirmed at a month of Boeing showing profit for the first time in 2 years. Damn, that's crazy. All right, so no confirmation there yet. We're looking for the buy signal. We need a green buy signal like this with a green bullish candle within it like that. And it needs to confirm a strong bullish green candle, meaning little to no wick on top. And if we don't get a breakout, it's fine. We'll be looking for scalps. So as you can see, market volatility kind of died down a bit after the open. We'll see what happens from here. Retail sentiments for sell, Mitchell. So we're looking for a buy. All right, we're just waiting for that confirmation. So let's see. So the thing right here is this is kind of, I mean, it's sort of biased because the only thing that's really holding up the buys is Boeing. Boeing's up 12 points. It's a huge, it's a huge handicap compared to the rest of the stocks right here. The stocks they're very red. The only difference is Boeing's the only one that's holding it up. So we'll see what happens in a little bit. It's still in positive, but it's only up 10 points. So it's like right down the middle. It's not really pushing that heavy. Let's see. But everything over here is still pointing towards the upside. This candle here just dropped. We'll have to wait and confirm to see where it goes from here because the 10-minute is still above right here. You can see the 10-minute is kind of rejecting off these pivots right here. So what could happen is we can see a rejection off these pivots, and then we could just see it bounce all the way back up, right? That's probably what can happen here, and that's why we're not going to get caught in these traps. So just waiting for the confirmation here. But we're not going to hop in just yet. All right, if we don't get an entry in the next 2 minutes, we're going to look for some scalps. I'm going to turn on my alerts now so we can start looking for some scalps here. All right, my alerts are on. Refresh this right here. It's up about 17 points right now. Retail sentiment is still short, 72 points, 72%. Overall futures is up 49 points. So everything's still pointing towards the upside. We just got to wait for that confirmation that we can take that entry. Okay, so looking at this right here, it's starting to push up. We still have about a minute or two before we give up the breakout. But if that becomes the case, it's fine. We can start looking for some scalps instead. We get about 10 seconds left on this candle. It doesn't look like it's going to close with a buy signal. If it doesn't, then it's fine. We'll look for the next entry. All right. Yeah, so no confirmation here at all for a breakout. You can see price kind of just whipsawed back and forth, right? Price came down, then it came up, then it came back down, then it came back up. So this is why you guys don't want to enter these trades like this, because you get caught in these, what we call whipsaws. But looking at this right here, you can see on the 10-minute, it's still rejecting off this pivot. So I think it's still going to have a bullish bias. We just got to wait for that confirmation. So now that we're done with the breakout here, we're going to look for some actual entries using the 1-minute pivot scalp, 3-minute pivot scalp, and the snipe entry. So let me see if there's any zones around this area. There's a lot of zones around this area. It's really messy on the 10-minute. I'll go ahead and draw these zones real quick. Let's see, we got this right here. Got this right there. It's right there. Stretch this up to here. All right, looks like we had a signal. I missed what it was, but it looks like it was one on the check. It was on the 1-minute. Okay. So pending buy signal on the 1-minute, but it's still bouncing around. You can see right here, it's just consolidating. So if you guys were in the session before the market opened, I mentioned that one of two things can happen in this market. Price will either be really slow with low volatility because people are going to be worried about the high news today. The Fed's going to be speaking at 11. We have crude oil inventories at 7:30. And the Fed conference is going to be at 11:30. So a lot of heavy news today. So there's going to be one of two things that can happen in this market. Price will either be very slow or it's going to be very volatile. You can see on the open, it was very volatile and then it just died down. Now it's like completely flat. And the reason for that is because a lot of people are sitting out the market until after the news happens because they don't want to get caught in like on the opposite side of the market. So we're still going to be looking for some scalps here, but we're going to be careful because it is a heavy news day. Let's see. All right, so I'm all done with these zones right here. I'm gonna turn this off. You can see right here, it's really choppy. There's really no strong confirmation here. And we gotta wait for these confirmations as they close out. So we have a signal here, a pending signal here on the 10-minute for a sell. And this is fine. If it drops down to the bottom, then we shift our bias from a buy to a sell. Looking at it drop right here, it looks like Boeing might be losing its strength because Boeing was the only thing that was holding it up earlier, if you guys are following me with my analysis. So Boeing over here was up like 17 points, I believe. Now it's only up 11 points. It's the only thing holding it up for a buy. Looking at the fundamentals over here, everything is pretty much down. If you look at United Health, they're down 5 points. Apple's down 4 points. Visa's down 4 points. McDonald's is down 3 points. 3M is down 1 point. Looking here on the green side, there's no stocks that are really that strong. The only stock that's holding it up is Boeing right here. So as Boeing starts to weaken, the entire index starts to weaken as well, right? So it's now in the negative. It's now red. And there's a lot of breaking news happening. So if you guys saw here, so there's breaking news with S&P indicating that it's rising slightly ahead of the key Fed decision. See, the key Fed decision is what I was talking about today. The Fed's going to talk at 11, so they're going to be talking about the economic policy this morning. And this is why a lot of people are just sitting out the market. So that happened. There's now another update with COVID over here regarding vaccines. And a lot of that stuff's just affecting the market, right? So we'll have to wait and see for that confirmation. Just looking here to look at the range. Price hasn't really moved that much. It's only moved about, so from open right here, it only moved about 600 pips, which is not that much. Generally moves about 1,000 pips on open. So we just gotta wait for this confirmation. Hey, Lo, good morning. All right, let's see. As you can see here on the 3 minute, the 1 minute is kind of messy, so you can't really see much there, but looking here on the 3 minute, you can kind of see that price is just whipsawing back and forth, right? Initially came down, came up, then it came back down, and then now it looks like it's going to come right back up. So we just got to wait for that confirmation. But if everything points for the downside and Boeing starts to lose its steam, then we're going to switch our bias from a buy to a sell, obviously, because the stocks, the actual index here doesn't show very strong stocks. It's mostly, for the most part, red. And looking over here at the index is still right down the middle. So this isn't normal. Generally on open, this should be either down 100 points or above 100 points. Right now, it's like right down the middle. So there's little to no movement in the market overall. And you can see right here from the index, it's not really moving either. It's kind of dead now. It died out. But we'll see what happens in the next, let's see, the next 20 minutes or so. Because it's 6:40 at 7. That's when it'll start to decide its direction. And we have news at 7:30. So just keep that in mind. All right, we have a pending signal on the 1 minute and the 10 minute. So as you can see right here, a huge wick, right? So looking at the 10 minute right here, the market's really messy, so I'm probably not going to look for any scalps. But just looking at this here, I mean, if you took some scalps from last night, there was actually a couple of scalps here that you could have taken. There's like one right here. That would have been a full TP right there. This right here too, actually. So this right here rejected off these pivots. So this technically would be a snipe, but I'm not going to take it. So just keep that in mind. I'm just going to mark it up here to follow it, but I don't recommend you guys take it because now that we have this bigger move right here lined up, we can generally trade within this move. But I wouldn't trade this right here, obviously, because of how the market's currently moving. It hasn't really chosen a direction. How I've shown you over here, it's currently green, but it's not necessarily very strong, right? It's like up 20 points and it goes down to 5 points and it goes back into the red. It's not very strong at all. It's not something that I recommend taking, especially because the actual index over here, there's nothing holding it up. If say Boeing right here was not in the index, everything here would be very weak, right? Wouldn't be that strong. The red side is still very strong, though. If you look at the red side, majority of them here are for the most part red. So just be patient, guys. As you can see right there, it came back up. There's a buy signal there. And price is starting to shift up, it looks like. I'm not going to take the 1 minute, and I'm just going to have this marked up here so we have the bias marked up just in case we want to take the 3 minute. All right, so let's see. All right, so there isn't really a direction set here. You can see that price is just going back and forth. The opening for the 10 minute is going to be right here, 620. But direction hasn't really been set yet. So one of two things can happen from this point. You generally, after the opening candle right here, price will do one of two things. It'll come back up and correct past the open, or it'll keep dropping from here. So by 7, we'll probably determine, which direction it'll actually be pushing. Because by 6:50, this candle will be done, and we'll be done with the second candle as well right after it to confirm the direction of a price. Let's see. All right, here we go. As it shifts back up. There we go. And that's exactly what we're looking for right here. We're looking for a buy signal right here on the 3-minute. If we get that buy signal, then we can take it here for a buy. And there's a 1-minute right here. So there's actually a 1-minute entry right here. I'm not going to take it, but I'm just going to mark it up for you guys who are taking it. If you guys have the strategies and the indicators, you guys are able to take this on your own. But this is a 1-minute entry right here. I'm not going to take it. It's just too risky because of how the market's moving. It's very volatile. So I'm personally not going to take it. I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to take it. Same with the 10-minute here. I'm not going to take this either, even though it's starting to push up. But the bias is starting to confirm. So there's a buy entry available on the 10-minute. There's a buy entry available on the 1-minute. I'm looking for the buy entry here on the 3-minute. So we have that middle ground. If the buy entry here appears on the 3-minute, then I'll take this. But I'm not really going to mess with the 1-minute or the 10-minute because there's just too much of a gap in between price regarding the time frames. For the 1-minute, it's too volatile. For the 10-minute, it's just too wide. And for the 3-minute, it's just perfect. It's right down the middle. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for right here. If I get that confirmation of a buy signal here, I'll probably hop in a little early just so that I can ride the rest of this move up, but actually take it for this here on the 3-minute. But I'm not gonna jump the gun. I'm gonna be careful today because the market is moving kind of funky. And this is why I wouldn't want to take the 1-minute because it's just bouncing around. The entry I'm looking for is here on the 3-minute. Josh said he has a sell signal on the 5-minute and 15-minute. Yeah, as you can see, on the 3-minute, well, I mean, there's a sell signal on everything over here, Josh. There's a sell signal on everything right now currently. Aside from the 1-minute, there's a buy signal here. For the 3-minute, there's a sell signal, and on the 10-minute, there's a pending sell right there. So as you can see, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, right? If you look on different time frames, it's kind of bouncing back and forth. Some are showing sells, some are showing buys, and this is why I didn't hop in just yet, right? Looking at this right here, this would hit stop loss. So I'm glad I didn't enter that trade. Sometimes if you guys need to go ahead and be very cautious during days like this when there's a lot of heavy news going on. Like I didn't realize the Fed was speaking today, and I didn't realize they were going to be discussing some key Fed decisions regarding the economy. So yeah, I'm not going to take that right there. I'm going to be looking on the 3-minute. There's no entry yet on this time frame. Looking on the 10-minute, this is exactly why I didn't take the 10-minute entry as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll leave it up for a little bit just to see where price is going, but it's fine. If that ends up being the case, we'll just skip. We'll change our bias from a buy to a sell. Right now, we're just trying to figure out what the bias is for today. Market is still kind of early. It's only been 15 minutes since open, so there's no rush, guys. Right? Just take your time and wait for that confirmation before you enter into any of these trades here. Looking at the index is still right down the middle. It's only negative 10 points. It's not really down very much, or it's not really up very much. Looking at the futures data over here. Futures data is right down the middle as well. It's only up 20 points. So overall, it's still bullish, but for the day, it is bearish right now. Looking over at Boeing over here, let me give an update to see what it looks like. Yeah, as you can see right here, Boeing is starting to weaken. It was up like 17 points. Now it's down 11. It's only at 11 points. United Health is weighing down a lot right now. So these stocks right here are weighing down the market heavily, the Dow market. It's United Health, they're down 5 points. McDonald's is down about 5 points. Apple's down 3.5 points. Visa's down 3 points. American Express is down 1 point. And Microsoft and 3M is also down 1 point. So a lot of them are pointing towards the downside. The only problem with us taking the downside is that retail traders are still short right now. A lot of them haven't moved their positions. They're just holding on to it as price kind of consolidates a bit. We're still looking for that confirmation here. All right, another signal on the 1-minute. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, Kenny said, if you don't trade, Shawn, I'm not, I've learned my lesson on that. Yeah, guys, if I tell you guys that the market's risky and I'm not taking the trade, that's a sign that you should probably just wait for a confirmation as well. Because I don't like losing trades. You guys know that I don't like losing trades at all. So if I don't feel comfortable with the trade, I'm not going to take it. If I feel like a trade's actually going to hit, then I'll take it. But right now, I don't feel comfortable with the trades. because we're getting a lot of mixed signals across the board. We're getting mixed signals on the technical side. We're also getting mixed signals on the fundamental side as well. Price just keeps going back and forth. Usually on open, it'll have a direction, right? If you guys have been watching the live sessions for the past couple of weeks, it's been like up or down like 200 points on open. Today kind of just died down a little bit. If you guys are following what I mentioned in the morning, it's because of the Fed news coming up at 11. A lot of people are just sitting out the market and waiting for some sort of confirmation from the Fed to determine, where their bias is going to be and where people are going to be trading. So if they have good news, and obviously, if the news is good, price is going to go up. If the news is bad, price is going to go down. So we'll see what happens there. Let me just check the news real quick and see what the Fed is actually going to be talking about. All right, so the Federal Reserve will conclude its two-day meeting on monetary policy on Wednesday. Federal Open Market Committee is set to release a statement at 2 p.m., followed by a press conference by Jerome Powell. So Jerome Powell is going to be speaking today. This is exactly why a lot of people are sitting out of the market. If you guys are familiar with Chairman Jerome Powell, there's a lot of memes with him printing money, because what he can say, one thing that he said, he could either push the market up or he could push it down. So that's why a lot of people are just sitting out the market to wait for him to talk. So they're going to be talking about coronavirus, the new Delta variant. Also, they're going to be talking about a lot of everyone's earnings statements. So a lot of big news for the economic market and the stock market in general, which will be affecting the market one way or the other. But I definitely want to hop in at least one scalp before he talks. So he's going to talk at 11. Generally, the market's probably going to die down around 8 or 9, because that's when a lot of people are just going to sit out the market completely. So as you can see, people are still trading right now. It's just it's not as volatile as it normally is. So if you go back to yesterday, so this is yesterday, right? Right over here. So looking at the range from yesterday, you can see price was pushing from, let's see, 630. Okay, 630 is right here. So the range yesterday was about a 2,000 pip move, right? Looking at the range today, let's see, 630. The range today was only about a 600 pip move, right? So we have half the volatility today, or less than half volatility from yesterday and the day before. The reason for that is a lot of people are sitting out the market right now. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are wondering why the market's kind of slow right now, you guys just got to put yourself in the position of other traders, right? If other traders see that the Fed's speaking today, a lot of them are just going to sit out. So looking here on the 10-minute, nothing available here yet. Looking at this right here on the 3-minute. So this is fine. If this happens right here where price stays below, this is completely fine. We'll just wait for a retracement, and then we'll catch it for a sell on the downside. Same with the 1-minute over here. Actually, this would be a 1-minute sell. I'm not going to take it, but I'll mark it up for you guys. It actually already hit TP, or almost. There you go. So that's a 1-minute sell right there. I'm tempted to hop into these sells right here. So that's one trade that we missed right there. It went straight to TP with little to no drawdown. So there goes one 1-minute sell right there. I didn't take the trade, so I'm not going to count it. I just marked it up for you guys, for whoever was waiting for that. But that's fine. If that's the case right here where it's going to continue to drop, then our bias is going to change for a sell. It's completely fine. We'll just copy that as we continue down. So I'm going to look for a retracement here on the 3-minute, and I'm going to catch it as it comes back down further. 1-minute, same situation right here. I'm going to look for another retracement, and then I'll catch it as it comes back down. So our bias is changing, right? That's fine. Bias changes all the time. It's not always going to be a buy. It's not always going to be a sell. When price changes and it gives you different hints, then you start looking the other way. So as you can see right here, I mentioned that after this open, price will do one of two things. Let me just go ahead and delete these, or I'll leave the zones here so that you guys can follow. But looking at this right here, you guys can see that price could have done one of two things. It could have retraced back up to where it originally was, or it'll continue dropping. Looking at price right here, it looks like it's going to continue dropping. With that said, it looks like we have another snipe entry that could be available right over here. And if that becomes the case, I'll mark this up after this candle closes. We have 7 minutes left on this candle. Once it closes, I'll mark it up for a possible sell if that becomes the case where it becomes available. But looking here on the 3-minute, we're going to look for a tracement up. And we're going to catch it as it comes back down. Same with the 1 minute over here. We're going to watch this as it retraces up, and then we're going to catch it as it comes back down. So this is fine. If our bias changes, our bias changes. Looking at the fundamentals over here, fundamentals are now down 30 points, or not only 24 points, but majority of the index is now red. So looking at Boeing, looks like Boeing lost its steam. Let me check. Yeah, Boeing is, I mean, it was up like 14 points, 17 points. Now it's only up 11 points. Looking at the rest of the index over here, these are starting to outweigh it, right? United Health is now down 7 points. McDonald's is down 6 points. Apple's down about 3 points. Visa's down almost 2 points. Amex is down 1 point. So as you can see, these stocks right here that are red, they pretty much overpower Boeing. Boeing is only down, it's only up 10 points. So these two stocks right here are enough to overpower Boeing. With that said, everything is now majority red. Looking at the actual index over here, for the day, it's down 35 points. If it gets down 100 points, then that's going to be a strong bias for a sell. Right now, currently, everything looks like a sell anyway, so that's completely fine. I'm looking for retracement here on the 3-minute so I can hop into this. But, you know, like I mentioned, I'm going to be a little careful today because of the heavy news. So just keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions, you know, go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and I can go ahead and take a look at whatever trades that you guys are looking for. Looking over here, it looks like a lot of you guys locked in some pretty solid profit this morning. Let's see. So yeah, Cheryl over here, it looks like she caught the 1-minute scalp this morning. So she took that sell. She's in total 4,493. That's a sell that I marked up over here. So whoever caught this sell right here, if you guys have the indicators, you guys can catch these trades, right? You don't have to wait for me to catch these trades for you. You can just take them yourself. So just looking at the premium chat over here, Cheryl over here caught that trade for 4,493 total in profit. Looking at Jay over here, Jay also took the sell. He's in profit 1,344. Nice work, Jay. Tommy over here, Tommy's in profit 1,770. Nice work, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy said, done trading for today. The market's weird. All right, here comes Josh. Josh with his gift. And hopefully Josh is doing good. I know Josh was sick yesterday. Hopefully you didn't catch the Delta variant, Josh. You should go get checked for COVID, bro. You know, just looking at the news this morning, it's crazy how many people are being hospitalized again because of the Delta variant. But yeah, congrats to everybody here who took that sell there. You guys did lock in some pretty solid profit. For the most part, let's see. Yeah, Joshua over here as well. So Joshua's pretty solid. About $1,000 looks like, or close to 1,000 right here for Joshua. William over here, William's up about 1,203. Nice work, William. So a lot of you guys did lock in some pretty solid profits. Like I mentioned, it is a risky day to trade. So whoever did take this trade right here, great work. For me, I didn't take it because I'm not trying to risk anything right now. I'm cool with not taking trades today if the market doesn't really give me any good entries, because I don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the market. So looking at this right here, the retracement just came up here on the 1 minute. That's completely fine. We want that retracement to come up so we can catch it as it comes back down. Same with the 3 minute over here. We want this retracement to come up so that we can catch it on its way back down. So I'll probably be trading on the 3 minute today. I'll be looking for a possible snipe here on the 10 minute as well, but we'll have to wait and confirm that once we have the confirmation from the market. So just looking at this right here, it's starting to decrease. It was down about 30 points, 40 points. Now it's only down 20 points. Looking over here at the index, I'm trying to figure out what's pushing it up, because Boeing is starting to drop, but it looks like a couple of the other stocks are starting to push up. Like Amgen is up 2 points, Salesforce is up 2 points, Home Depot is up nearly 2 points, but it's not strong enough to really push it up that high. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's still at 72%. So you can see a lot of retail traders are just holding on to their positions. They're not really getting stopped out. They're not really hopping in. The market's just flat right now for the most part overall. Miles said, the market is equivalent to a sour wagwash. Yeah, market is just, I mean, it's just not really giving us anything right now. And don't just hop into a trade, guys. So like, just because you see this dropping right here, I don't recommend you guys ever hop into a trade. Only hop in if you guys have an entry. So if you guys do have an entry, make sure you double check your analysis to make sure that everything lines up. Because the last thing you want to do is enter a sell, chasing this move down here, and then it spikes up. You end up in some heavy drawdown. You know, for example, if you hopped in down here because you saw it dropping, you would have been in some heavy drawdown now for about 200 pips, maybe 300 pips if you held on to it longer. You guys got to wait for that actual confirmation before you hop in. Let's see. Okay, so now it's starting to drop again. It's down 40 points. You can see it's kind of just going back and forth, right? It's not really pushing heavily in one direction or the other. It's kind of just going down, then it comes back up, then it comes back down. But obviously you can see from the market, it's not really choosing a direction just yet. Hassan said, got to get with FTMO. The spreads on funding talent are like 30, 40. It's insane. Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of you guys here talking about it. Just looking at the group over here, there's a couple other people here who just mentioned that they're trying to get a refund from funding talent. They're just going to move over to FTMO. Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy how heavy the spread is right now. The spread should not be heavy because it is. We're in New York. Yes. Let me refresh. These look like Hamidi mentioned that fundamentals are changing again to the green side. Yeah, so we'll keep confirming this here. All right. So let's go back to the charts over here. We're just looking for retracement. Okay, it's perfect. So we have a retracement candle right here on the 1 minute. We want this retracement candle so we can catch it as it comes back down. If I get another entry here on the 1 minute, maybe I'll hop in with you guys for a quick little move. But you know, I'm gonna be careful. I'm not just gonna hop in just right away. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So Hassan said they have two servers on funding talent, one with low spreads and one with insanely high spreads. No wonder they're getting all these complaints. It doesn't make sense that one server has spreads literally 15 times higher with constant freezes. Yeah, no, I agree. That is definitely a hassle. I mean, they'll fix it eventually, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty hefty. Looking over here, see Gary just posted his profits. Gary's up about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, about 4,000. So Gary made about 4,000 today. He was trading US30 for both buys and sells. He said, my take for the day while I was awake. I still can't believe I did that, but lesson learned. And I know if I was wide awake, I would never have went down the way it did. Made my goal of 4K and then some for the day though. Yeah, no, definitely. Big congrats to you, Gary. For locking in 4,000 on a crazy market day like this. So Gary said that he's kind of sleepy right now. So Gary's kind of sleepy and he took trades without really like fully thinking about it. But luckily he caught all the moves here. So if you look on the 1 minute here, it looks like he kind of caught like all of these little spikes all around. Looks like he had a couple buys here. So let's see at 6:30. Yeah, you kind of took trades in both directions. When he saw sell signals, he took the sell. When he saw buy signal, he took the buy. But yeah, just looking at everything here, he's pretty solid, about 4,000 right here on his account. So, you know, just depending on how many, depending on how risky you guys want to be, you guys can still take profits. Me personally, I don't like taking trades like that. You guys have been following me for a while. I only take about 1 or 3 trades a day, and they're all winners because I'm very careful with the trades that I take. So this is how the market's looking right now. There's no entries available at 7 o'clock right now. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat and I can take a look. Since there's not really much for us to look at here with the Fed speaking at 11, looks like the market might just slow down a bit in the next couple of hours or so. Nice. So Abraham said he caught some too. Crazy risk. Yeah, no, definitely. S is asking, I'm getting in the FTMO challenge next week. What do you recommend, guys? Aggressive or normal? You should just do normal. You do a bigger account size with that. Miles said this market is this is a full retard market. Yeah, no, Miles, the market is not really it's just kind of hard to read today. But there's good, there's good reason for that. The Fed is speaking today and they're making big decisions. Even CNBC published this, a few minutes ago, or about an hour ago now. So about an hour ago, the CNBC mentioned that they're going to be making some big decisions regarding the economy. Yeah, this thing's dropping pretty heavy now. Paul said, still haven't taken a trade, might just not trade and play on my PS4. Dion said, have you moved away from the daily K2 entries on Dow 30? That's a 150 put move. The market hasn't been really moving that much lately, Dion. That's why there's no entry for available. The thing is, if the market's not moving, you got to hold that trade into the next day, and that defeats the whole purpose of it being a daily entry, right? Because you hold it for too long. Yeah, I'm not sure if you've been on the sessions, Dion, but the market hasn't really been moving that much for the past couple of weeks, or for the past couple of months. We are in summer. You've been here before, Dion. Like every year, it's like this during the summer. Volatility dies down. So during the summer, it's a lot harder for us to catch these bigger moves because it doesn't really move that much through the entire session. Okay, so looking at this right here, there was another snipe entry. So I don't know if you guys caught that right here, but this is what we were waiting for earlier. We were waiting for this candle right here to close for a snipe entry because we had a rejection off the pivot here, rejection off the structure, and we were waiting for this to push down from this point. So this is a snipe entry right here. I didn't take it, but whoever did, it's pretty heavy in profit at this moment. So this is going to confirm the sell here that we're looking for. We just need a confirmation of a retracement. So I'm not going to hop in right away because the last thing I want to do is hop in for a sell and then retrace it all the way back up, which happens a lot. Let's see. Yeah, looking at the daily entry over here, let me just show you real quick, Dion. Okay, so looking at the daily entry right here, this would have been the daily entry if you took this yesterday. And as you can see, yesterday it moved because it was very volatile. But if you go back to the previous days, like maybe not this week, but probably like the previous week before that, the market doesn't really move fast enough for you to catch these daily entries. You'd probably be holding on to it for like a really long time. Like for example, right here, I think this was Monday. So on Monday, if you took a daily entry right here, so Dion, check this out. On Monday, see how it pushed up over here? It got close to the full TP, but it didn't go all the way. And this, you literally be holding on to this trade for like more than 24 hours. So, before we applied the daily entry, it would hit TP like within the first couple minutes or like the first hour or so, it would happen by the end of the day. But it just doesn't really move like that because we're in the summer. Yeah, exactly, Dion. And yeah, Miles, summer is the slowest season. Reason for that's because a lot of the bigger traders and market institutions, they usually go on vacation during the summer. So a lot of these times it's just retail traders pushing price around. Not all the time, but for the most part, there just isn't that many institutions pushing price around because a lot of people go on vacation during the summer. So that's why the summer is always a slow season for pretty much majority of assets because people are just starting trading during that time. Well, people are trading, but not the big banks and stuff. They kind of ease off on their trading and then they hop right back in the fall. So let's see. Duggan said, sleepy, get a coffee. Well, try trading in Australia and having a 45-second delay on the video. Just took my first trade on the prop firm challenge, still working on it, but got the win. Definitely nice work, Duggan. Yeah, I remember you were talking about that yesterday, that you were going to start with the prop firm challenge. Let me scroll up real quick. Fatima's asking, hey, Shawn, does the US 30 have any correlation to the DXY? Yeah, because the DXY is the dollar index. So obviously the US 30 is a US asset. So, it doesn't have a straight correlation, but it does have a correlation to it one way or the other. It's not a direct correlation, but it has, because the DXY affects other assets. Like it affects all of the US currencies. It also affects gold. It affects oil, stuff like that. So here's a full TP off the snipe entry for whoever decided to catch it. I kind of wish I caught it when it retraced back up, but it's okay. I'm not trying to take any risky trades right now. But there's a snipe entry right there. If you guys are not familiar with the snipe entry, this is a K2 US 30 snipe entry. So I'll just go over these strategies here for a lot of the new people, or if you guys don't remember the strategy. For this, you want to confirm a wick rejection off K2 pivots, off any K2 pivot. So yeah, wick rejection off any K2 pivot to confirm a wick rejection off K2 SR zone. Second or third, you want to confirm direction of momentum using K2 momentum indicator. This thing keeps clicking out. Okay. Momentum indicator. And then lastly, you just want to confirm wick rejection off K2, wick rejection off K2 pivot, not touching candle body. So this is the strategy that I marked up right here. Basically, you want to confirm a wick rejection off the K2 pivot. Right here, this red candle is rejecting off this orange pivot. Second, you want to confirm a wick rejection off the K2 SR zone. Here's the zone right here. So there's requirements 1 and 2. Third requirement, you want to confirm the direction of momentum using the K2 momentum indicator. Right here, we have a sell signal. So that's going to confirm the direction. And lastly, you just want to make sure that this pivot right here isn't touching the candle body, which it isn't, right? So with that said, this would be a valid entry for a K2 snipe entry. So that's why I marked this up here on the 10-minute. I mentioned I was going to take it on the 10-minute because it's just too big of a range for me to want to take. But, you know, looking here on the 3-minute, we're now looking for a retracement here. Hasn't happened yet. So we can catch it back down. Same with 1 minute. We're looking for a retracement here so that we can catch it as it comes back down. But it is kind of risky, guys, because the Fed is going to speak today. So, you know, one thing to keep in mind is the risk that's involved with this. Because the thing is, the market can, so say if you enter the trade right here, right? The reason why I didn't want to enter the trade here is because price can at any moment just consolidate. And then if it consolidates for a while, the Fed speaks right here at 11. So the Fed speaks at 11. And the thing that you don't want to get caught in is you don't want to get caught in consolidation, because when the Fed speaks, you're going to see price spike up or it's going to spike down, you know, depending on what Jerome Powell says. He can spike price up or down, or he can spike price in both directions. So what could happen is it could possibly hit your stop loss before it even reaches your TP. And this is the requirements for this strategy right here, if you guys are wondering. And, you know, it's just one of those days where it's just sometimes it's better not to take the risk. But if you guys do want to take the risk, you know, I'll try to mark up as many trades as possible that I do see. If I don't feel comfortable about it, I'm not going to take it. If I do, then I'll take it. But right now, there just isn't anything that I feel like really specifically comfortable about taking these trades here, especially for a sell. I wouldn't really want to take a sell because a lot of retail traders are short right now. And you can see right here. So see how it went from 72% to 70%. A lot of retail traders are pulling out of the market because they're also getting worried about how price is going to be moving, because this might indicate that there might be a shift to the opposite side. But, you know, we really don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people are probably just going to pull out of the market until the Fed is done speaking. So let me go ahead and scroll down. But yeah, going back to your question, Fatima, yeah, US 30 does have a correlation to DXY because it's a dollar index, right? This is a US asset. So if the dollar goes up, US 30 will probably go up too, because it's going to strengthen. When people have money, or, you know, there's value for the US dollar, people generally put it into the stock market. So it doesn't have a very direct correlation, but it has an indirect correlation where it'll affect like price of gold. It'll affect a lot of things where people have money to actually put into the stock market. So that's kind of the correlation there. But I wouldn't say that there's one direct correlation. So say if DXY is going up, that doesn't necessarily mean the US 30 is going to go straight up, right? It's just going to go, it's going to affect something, which will also affect the US 30. So let me see. Abraham said, does it have to be on the 10-minute? Some people have used it on higher time frames, Abraham, but I personally I've only tested on the 10 minutes. So if you want to go test it on other time frames, you can. But for me personally, this strategy was meant for the 10-minute. And generally, if I trade during Asia session, I generally will mark up a snipe entry on the 10-minute. So say, for example, here we have a sell entry for the 10-minute, right? If I have a sell entry that's available right here, I'll look for some pivot entries on the 3-minute and 1 minute for some sells as well. because it just gives you a better confirmation as to where price is going to be going. So let me go ahead and scroll up real quick. Let's see if there's anything else that I missed. So let me scroll down a little bit, see if so I'm going to answer questions now. If you guys have questions, just put your questions in the chat, because the market's just not giving us any entry. So I don't have anything to take right now. So if you guys do have questions, I can easily just pick them up and answer them. So it looks like Brittany over here actually took it. Justin over here too. So Justin, the guy over here. Yeah, Justin took the sell there. He locked in 572. Nice work, Justin. Locked in some profit off that. So if you guys are, if you guys are taking risky trades, you guys can still take these trades and still profit. Justin here has no losses. He took buys and sells, so great work right there. Looking at Brittany over here, it looks like Brittany took that sell for the snipe, and she locked in, let's see, about 1,000, 2,000, about 3,000 right here. So definitely great work right there, Brittany. Kimmy too as well. Kimmy looks like he took the trade there for a sell. He locked in 10,000. So, depending on how you guys are trading, you guys can easily take these trades that I'm marking up, but just keep in mind that, take it with a grain of salt and understand that there's a lot of risk involved with these trades today because of the news happening. We also have medium news coming up for the US in about 17 minutes, which is going to be going over the US crude oil inventories. So definitely some great profit amongst everyone here. Yeah, Kimmy hit 10,000 there. Brittany hit up about 4,000 right there. Justin over here hit up 572, and Gary over here hit up about 4,000. So you guys, it's possible to lock in profits in markets like these, but it's risky. So just keep that in mind. Let me scroll down real quick and see what else did I miss. Yeah, Joshua said I'm going to take my 950 on my other challenge and not trade the other account. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Joshua. So I'll see you tomorrow too. Wesley said, hey, Shawn, are you still on the challenge on account on FT, or have you already passed? What sizes accounts do you have with them? I have the biggest accounts with them, which are 100K, but yes, I'm still on the challenge. I haven't really been trading with Funding Talent because of all the issues that they've been having lately. I've been thinking about just getting a refund from them, or, because the thing is, they have so many issues with their servers. I don't want to take trades on their account and then end up getting trapped in a trade. Like yesterday, I've been using their account for the past couple of days, but what would happen is I would only get half profit because they wouldn't let me exit my trade on time. So I'm not really trading them right now, but yes, I'm still on the challenge accounts for Funding Talent because I just started their accounts recently. But since all this drama has been happening with them for the past couple of weeks, I just haven't really been focused on passing it because, what's the point of passing it if I'm not going to get paid out by them? I've been using FTMO for over a year now. So FTMO is the main funding company that I do use. And everything else was just going to be extra. Like Funding Talent was just going to be an extra, profit pool that I was going to take from another company. But my main company that I traded with is FTMO because I haven't had any problems with them for over a year. Yeah, Deswell said Funding Talent sucks. Yeah, a lot of people had issues with them. Like Cheryl made about 86,000 with them last month, and they refused to pay her out. And she's filed so many complaints with them, complaints with the FTC. There's just a lot of issues that are going on with them. So one thing that I'm worried about Funding Talent is that if I get funded with them, and then they go bankrupt because they can't pay us out, right? Because a lot of us here win pretty consistently every day, and if they can't pay us out, it's kind of a waste of time trading with them. So they're not really my I don't recommend them to anybody, and I don't really take them seriously, especially right now. Mitchell said, how can I buy the K2 indicator? If you want to get the K2 indicator, go on the website, k2trades.com, click on K2 strategy course right here, and that's how you get access to the indicators. Let me scroll down a little bit. Yeah, Dion, I agree with you too. Dion said with COVID and lockdown, I completely forgot we're in the slower period of time. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, it's just slow right now during the summer. It should pick up around September. Michael's asking, hey, Shawn, can you go over the requirement 2A for the snipe strategies? Oh, you meant for the pivot. Okay. So let me go over here real quick. So let me show you an example of that, if I could find one here. Okay, perfect. So this is one right here, actually. So let me just replay this right here. So I'll put the requirements right here for this strategy. This for the people who are new here, or if you guys just want a refresher on this. So looking at this right here, this is going to be the K2 US 30 3-minute pivot scalp. So first, you want to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. 2, you want to, or 2A, you want to confirm price is breaking and closing past K2 pivots 3 and 4. If that's not there, you look for 2B. You confirm price is above pivots for a buy or below for a sell. Yes, looking at this right here. So for the 2A requirement that you're looking for, Michael, for the first requirement, you want to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal, right? In order for it to be valid, you need a confirmation of a green buy signal with a green candle within it. So you're basically looking for green, green, red, red, right? One or the other. Set for 2A, this is the one that you're kind of confused with. You want to confirm price is breaking, closing past K2 pivots 3 and 4. So if you look at this right here, the previous candle right here, price was below the pivots, right? This actual signal candle right here, it's breaking past these 2 pivots right here, 3 and 4, the red and orange line, and it's also closing above it. So with that said, that's going to confirm requirements number 1 and 2A. Once you have 1 and 2A right there, you could skip 2B because that's irrelevant at this point. So if you have this set up right there, you just mark it up like that. You let it run right here, and then there you go, full TP off that trade right there. So that's going to be requirement 2A. 2B is going to be if price is already below or above it. So like that's 2A right there. And then looking over here, this is going to be an example of 2B. So looking at this right here, you want to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. Again, right here, we have a valid buy signal. It's a green candle within the buy signal. For 2A, you want to confirm price is breaking, closing past K2 pivots 3 and 4. For this one right here, it's not breaking past anything, right? Because it's already above the pivots. So we're going to skip 2A. We're going to go down to 2B. Confirm price is above pivots for buy. Right here, it's above the pivot, so it's going to confirm 2B. We have confirmation of requirement 1 and 2B. With that said, you enter a long position again right here. You go ahead and shoot for another 25 pips. You let it run. And there you go, full TP. So that's the difference between 2A and 2B. 2A is when it breaks and closes past the pivots. 2B is when it's already above it for a buy. And hopefully that answers your question. All right, so that's it for that right there. And that's basically what we're looking for right here too, guys. So like, this is exactly what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a retracement here so we get an opposite signal, because we can't get a sell signal if we already have a sell signal. After each momentum swing, there has to be opposites. We have a momentum swing upwards, momentum swing downwards. Now we have a momentum swing upwards. And then since the trend overall bias is down, we're looking for that momentum swing back downwards, and we catch that for a sell. And that's why we have such a high win rate here, because we just trade off momentum, right? We wait for momentum swings in the market, and you just got to be patient. It's like fishing, right? You're waiting for that big fish. Obviously, you can go on the 1 minute, catch a small fish right here. But the big thing is if you wait on the 3 minute or the 10 minute, you catch the bigger fish. You get 500 pips here. You get 250 pips here. Here you'll get about 100 pips. It's a small fish, but it is still profit. It adds up. So that's kind of the whole thought process behind these strategies here. Let me scroll down real quick. Yeah, definitely, no problem, Michael. So Michael's all good. He understands it. Let's see, we have a pending signal here on the 1 minute. Scroll up real quick and see what else we're missing here in the Zoom. So I'm looking at the Zoom right now. I'm not here on the other one yet. Abraham said FCMO challenge is 20K for a 100K account. Miles is, let's see, normal. Yeah, I would just recommend using the normal accounts, guys. Like, there's no point in doing the aggressive. You can pay the same amount to have a bigger normal account than aggressive. The aggressive only gives you it gives you more of a drawdown, but I mean, there's no point, right? You can just, if you have a bigger account, you can just scale it up. You have a bigger drawdown that way. It just doesn't really make sense. Yeah, Kenny over here said, I've seen the CEO of Funding Talent and the CEO of Funded Trader say they know people that have had issues not getting payouts with FTMO, the irony. I mean, the different funding companies are always going to be saying things against each other. It's always going to be that way. That's how it is. It's just same like with the clowns that like try to troll other, like the clowns that basically come in here and try to troll too. It's the same thing. They're usually probably from a different group that's like pretty fucking whack anyways. Like every company is always going to hate on like other companies, right? If another company sees a different company doing better than them, they're going to hate. That's all they can do, right? Because they can't do anything better. So yeah, of course, Funding Talent and Funding Trader are both going to hate on FTMO. FTMO is a gold standard, guys. If you guys have been using funding companies for a long time now, FTMO is the only one that's been around long enough with little to no issues. I've been with them for over a year now, and they haven't had any issues. But it is what it is. Like every company is going to be hating on each other if the other company is doing better than them. So let me see. Yeah, we have news coming up in about 7 minutes, so just keep that in mind. We got news over here. The crude oil inventories. So it's not out yet, but it's going to come out in about 7 minutes. So once that happens, it could probably push the market one way or the other. But yeah, just a confirmation. I didn't take any trades today, so my account is pretty dry for the most part today, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping I'd have at least one trade, but it's all good. All right, we have that retracement signal right there. That's perfect. It's exactly what we're looking for. I want this retracement signal here, and I'll take the sell once that becomes available. Scrolling, I'm gonna go through the YouTube now. So on the YouTube, John's asking, Shawn, I'm sure you've been asked this before, however, have you ever thought about using Top Step Trader and trade right on TradingView instead of MT4? No, I haven't. So which broker do they use for Top Step? I've heard of Top Step before. Actually, like before I did any other funding companies, Top Step was going to be my first option because that one's based in the US, I believe. But I've never used them before. How could you trade with them directly on TradingView? Is there like, do they have AMP or something? Because the options here are, I mean, there's not very many options here, right? So I'm not sure which one were you talking about that would accept it. I don't think they have TradeStation. The only thing I think of is possibly AMP or Tradeovate, but even so, I don't know if their account is going to be able to, I don't know if their account would be able to link to TradingView, because I don't know if their platforms are compatible. You might have to use the actual AMP or whatever platform they use, because there's one member in K2. There's a member in K2 that does use Top Step, but they have to use their platform. I don't think you can use it on TradingView. If you can, let me know, because I'll be down for that. I'd rather trade on TradingView anyways. But I know that, like, I don't even know what broker that they use. And the thing with Top Step is I think you have to pay like a monthly fee or something, right? Like they're just like, they're like Funding Talent. They charge that monthly fee, and that's how they make the money to pay people out. The thing I like with FTMO is like once you pass, you don't have to. There's no monthly fee, so you're pretty much you're trading risk free after. So I personally don't know, because I haven't I haven't had a reason to look into them. But if you do know, John, that'd be, if you can give me some information, that'd be great. Maybe it's something that I can. Gotcha. Okay, so you mentioned it's from Tradeovate. So maybe I'll try them out. I'll try them out and I'll let you guys know how they work. I'll give it a try. Yeah, that's what John just mentioned. John mentioned the large monthly fee is the weakness. Yeah, because that's how they make money off you, right? So the thing is, if you're not making any profit, well, I mean, over here there should be no problem with that, but that might be something that's actually I'll look into. So definitely, thanks for letting me know, John. I'll take a look. I'll just pay for it and I'll try it out, because I mean, whatever. If we keep taking these winning trades on TradingView, it actually makes things a whole lot easier to do it that way. So I'll definitely check them out. Let me put on my notes, actually. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Scroll down here real quick. Check out. Hamidi said, Shawn, don't waste your time. They don't trade US 30. Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, well, so I think what they would trade immediately on there would be the actual future. So the thing that mirrors the thing that US 30 mirrors is the future. So it'd be YM or MYM. So I'll still check them out just to see, um, and I'll see if they work as well. So let's check out. Yeah, because I think immediately the one that you probably looked at was probably the top step FOREX. If you do the original top step, which is futures, they have futures that you can trade, which would be the mirroring symbol for this would be MYM. So if you or YM. So if you can see right here how price is looking. If I go to YM, which is the E-mini, it's the same thing. It's kind of different, but it's still kind of similar. It's like the same thing. It's just like slightly different, but it's pretty much the same symbol. And there's you can see US 30 and YM, they're kind of the same. And there's also MYM, which is the micro. So this would be the actual future for it. So maybe it's something to play around with to see. See, MYM is the same thing right here. MYM and YM are just they're the future, basically the future of the of US 30. I mean, they're all futures, but US 30 mirrors it. US 30 is just the indice. I believe so. Media. I know they're located in the US. I don't know if they're directly in Chicago, but they might be. I'm not sure. If I have no idea where they're located, but I know they're in the US. So let's see. All right, let me scroll over here real quick. Falcon said, Shawn, do you have data of your K2 strategies? It'll be really helpful if it's already with you. I have complete faith, but I would like to have some metrics. I mean, the metrics are from all the live trades that are taken, Falcon. The thing is, it's kind of hard to backtest it because we have different confirmations, right? I don't take every single trade. The thing is, you still have to have some skill to trade this way. You have to know how to understand the technical bias, the fundamental bias, the market sentiment. You know, that's hard to really gauge because the thing is, market sentiment changes. You can't go back in time and be like, oh, what was market sentiment on this day, right? So the thing is, we don't have the back test data is from actual practice, like from frontward testing. There's no backward testing for this. It's frontward testing. So if you look at all the results every week, that's going to be exactly the back test that you're looking for, because you know all these trades are taken live. So if you go and you see all of the trades here taken, you can match them with the trades that we have on the YouTube, because I've been trading live for like 3 years now. So you can go back and watch them. Like say if you wanted to see what trades I took on the 19th, you can go to the YouTube channel and then you can pull up, you know, you're like pull up for you. So like, for example, here, if you wanted to see what trades I took on the 19th and you want to go and back test it, I mean, you have to do some work, right? You have to do some actual legwork on your end if you actually want to see this, but it's available to you. Like if you look right here on the 19th, you can just go to the 19th here. So when's the 19th? I think it's like right here. So if you want to go back and see what trades were taken on the 19th, you just click on the video here and you can see that there's trades right here that are counted, right? That's how you're going and see if you want to go and see for yourself. But I mean, all the data is already there, Falcon. I'm not sure if you're in any of these groups here, but the pretty much everything here is documented, like all the trades from every day, and you can go and confirm it by looking at the actual live session where we took the trades live. And because I've been trading for so long here, like you can see all the live sessions here. I don't go a day without trading live. So if you go back and see all the results here, you can see literally every trade that I called live, profits taken, TPs hit, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can figure out, you know, exactly if you really want to go that deep into it. I mean, you know, a lot of people, you can just watch the sessions and you can see what I do here. But if you want to go back and you really want to go in and nitpick every single trade that I took, you can go back and look. It's going to be some work on your end. But we don't have an actual back test because you can't back test fundamentals. You can't back test market sentiment because it changes. Like we can't go to CNBC and just be like, oh, what was market sentiment? What was the fundamentals on like this day? There's no dates to go back. So you can't really confirm that. So if you want to go do that, I mean, you're more than welcome. I'm not going to do it. I don't have time for that shit. Like if you guys want to go do that, you guys can do it, but you guys can see how I trade every single day. It's the same way. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of back end work. But if you really want to go and figure it out, you can go do that if you have some extra free time. But all right, yeah, no problem, Falcon. Yeah, but you can't do a purely technical analysis POV. Like, why would you do that, right? If you do a purely technical analysis POV, you can see here that there's sometimes where there's trades that look like good trades in the technical side, but it's opposite on the fundamentals, right? And what happens? It goes in the fundamental direction. So you just got to keep in mind that technicals aren't always going to be the main thing to look at. That's why a lot of people fail at trading, because they get trapped in these traps here. Technical analysis is meant to trap traders because it can be easily manipulated. That's why you have to look at other things like fundamentals and market sentiment here, so that you don't fall for those traps. Like if fundamentals are pointing to the downside, I'm not going to take any buys here, even though I see a buy here, right? Like for example, if I see a buy here, and so like for example right here, see this buy right here? This, if you just look at this here, this would probably show you that it's going to swing back up, right? Because it just retraced down and came back up. But we didn't take this trade because fundamentals are pointing towards the downside. So I wouldn't necessarily base it off technicals. You know, technicals aren't going to be a good representation of like how things work, because the thing is, market's always being manipulated one way or the other, especially US 30. This is one asset that gets manipulated every day because it's such a small, you know, it's a small asset compared to like a currency. All right, so let's see. FTC chair Lena Khan testifies at the House. So right now the FTC is testifying. This is going to affect the market, obviously, because FTC directly affects US 30. So I'm probably not going to trade for the day. Like looking at this right here, there's just too much noise in the market. All right, so the FTC is going to be testifying. Let's see. Yeah, looking at this here. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about, but the FTC is going to directly affect US 30. So I don't think I'm going to be trading today. If you guys want to trade, you know, be careful, use a smaller lot size or use a tight stop loss, because the thing is, whatever she says here could affect the market too. And we also have the Fed speaking at 11. Also, we have crude oil inventories that just got released right here. So it was actually it was positive. So it was 2.1 mil. It was forecasted to be 2.6 negative. It was actually negative 4.1. So it looks like the crude oil inventories are low, which is good. That means that, you know, the U.S. is selling a lot of oil, or, you know, oil is going between countries, and it's looking like the economy is looking good for them. So that's why US 30 kind of spiked up a bit. Falcon said, I agree with your methodology, but fundamentals are a lagging confluence with my limited understanding. Yeah, I mean, fundamentals should probably be your main thing to focus on, because fundamentals are actually they're a leading confluence. I know they're lagging for you because you don't understand it, but if you do understand it, like fundamentals are always leading. If fundamentals indicate that price is going one direction, generally the technicals are going to follow. That's why we go from, you know, from our steps of importance will be fundamentals, technicals, and then market sentiment. Just to determine, you know, that extra confluence. But fundamentals should always be number one if you understand it, which, you know, we obviously do. We've been using it for all of our analysis here. So let's see. Let me check out the chat over here real quick and see what else I missed. Oh, gotcha. Okay, Luis, thanks for confirming that. Yeah, Luis said, I trade futures on Tastyworks, no charge on platform regulated. No problem. I'll probably take a look at them too. But if I was going to use a platform like that, I'd probably use something like TradeStation, because they're directly on TradingView. Like, I don't want to use a different platform if I'm already using MT4. It's kind of annoying already using MT4. I'd rather trade directly on TradingView if it was possible. All right, so let me go over to the YouTube. I mean, to the Zoom. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Hamidi said prop trading and BTT FX funding is trending now. To me, they are way better than funding talent. I'm doing prop trading now with for my best friend. You know, there was, I don't know which group was it, but I know like one of the guys in the group mentioned another funding company where they're doing the same thing like you. They're doing the account for their friend and they never got paid out. So so here's the thing, guys. My advice to you guys, if you guys want to do some sort of funding company is always going to be funding talent. The only reason I'm choosing funding talent is because I've been with them for over a year now and I've never had issues with them. I've always had payouts on time and there's never has been any issues with them. If you guys want to try other funding companies, it's fine. But to me, FTMO is still the gold standard. And if you can't pass FTMO, you can't pass anything else. So like, I don't understand why people keep going from different companies when they can't even pass FTMO, right? It's not going to make a difference if you go from like FTMO to funding talent. If you can't pass one of them, you can't pass the other because it's the same thing for the most part. So just keep that in mind. I see a lot of people always trying to shop for different funding companies, but they can't even pass, one funding company. So it doesn't really make a big difference which funding company you go from. What I recommend is just stick with one that's reliable. If you find it reliable, stick with them and actually pass. Because I see people go from like funding FTMO to funding talent to the funded trader and all this stuff, and they just fail all of them. It's like if you just stick to one that actually is legit, you'd be better off, right? Because the thing is, I've seen a lot of people who they went from FTMO and they keep failing and they go to funding talent because it's easier, but then they have issues with payouts and like with laggy servers and stuff like that. The difference with FTMO and funding talent is that FTMO has been around for a lot longer. So they figured out all the kinks already, like all the issues with their servers and stuff like that. They figured it out. Funding talent is still figuring it out. So just, keep that in mind. And if you guys go on the websites, like this is one thing that I do a lot of times when I look at these funding companies. So what I do is I like to compare the websites, right? So like if you go from like, and I went over this yesterday. If you look at the two different websites, like looking at FTMO and comparing it to funding talent, FTMO is a way more professional website. If they had money, they would have a more professional website. If you go over to funding talent, this is a pretty janky website. I mean, it was janky from the beginning, but it still looks kind of shitty. Like, they can't afford to make a better website if they're making all this money from these traders. I mean, it looks a little better now, but from the beginning, funding talent had like a really janky website. When I first went on it, it looked like a total scam website. Like they're still using stock photos. Like, check this out. Why would they use a photo like this for funding talent? They're using real people, but they use people taking selfies. And then I don't know, it's a lot of stuff here it's just really weird. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are looking at different funding companies, just go and check. There's a lot of red flags that could be raised regarding that. Yeah, Jenna said last one, that's a burn on people switching prop firms, but it's facts. So yeah, exactly, guys. If you guys can't pass with like one of them, you guys can't pass with the other ones, right? It doesn't make a difference. It's still the same thing. Like, so here's the difference with FTMO and funding talent. FTMO has a 10% profit goal, and then funding talent has 8%. That 2% shouldn't be the difference between you passing funding or not, right? That's only 2%. That's like one more trade. So, just always keep that in mind, guys. It's not really you just said that stock photo is the actual CEO. Really? Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually really funny that you mentioned that, Jetta. Yeah, I didn't realize that, but no, it's funny that you mentioned that. All right, let me see what's going on over here. So I'm back here on the 3-minute. There's no entry available yet. Let me scroll over here and see what's going on. Roman said the Feds will talk about Tether crypto today. Should be interesting. I agree. A lot of people here are saying that there's a 3-minute pending buy. Yeah, I saw that earlier. It was pending there, but it didn't come up. Even if that was to come up there, I probably wouldn't take it because the 10-minute here is still bearish and the 1-minute here is still, or it might be shifting actually. Who knows? It might be shifting to the upside. Kyle mentioned 10-minute daily. Yeah, Jetta knows. So Jetta knows what the CEO looks like. But yeah, talking about funding talent, if you guys looked at funding talent before, like before they changed the website, like that website was super janky at the beginning because, they're a brand new company. It was just like, it was such a weird looking website. That's why I never did funding talent to begin with. And then I'm kind of glad I didn't because there always seemed to be issues with it moving forward. So anyways, looking at US 30, Kyle's asking 10-minute daily. I wouldn't take the 10-minute here, Kyle. Technically, the 10-minute would have been right here. This would have been the daily over here, Kyle. Because this is the first signal after open. So if you were to take that daily entry, this would have been the daily entry right here. This is one strategy that we applied. The strategy that Kyle's referring to right here is the K² daily US 30 entry. So for this, you want to confirm, or for this, you want to look for entries after New York Stock Exchange open, which is going to be 6:30 a.m. Pacific. 2, you want to confirm first valid K2 momentum signal. And then lastly, you just want to enter on the open of the following candle. So yeah, Kyle, looking at this right here, market open here at 6:30. The following candle right here is a valid buy, a valid sell. So this would be the daily entry right here, the sell. It's already active. It wouldn't be this one right here. So this would be the trade that you were looking for if you were to take the daily entry here. So these are two different strategies. Keep that in mind. This was a different strategy from earlier, and this is the strategy that Kyle's just referring to right now, asking about the daily entry. So this technically would be it right here, but I'm not going to take it because it's just moving too much, and we also have news coming up right now. Also, the FTC speaking right now. So this is also going to affect the market. So just keep that in mind. A lot of stuff going on in the market that can easily spike price up or down, and it's not really worth the risk if that becomes the case. Let's see. But yeah, Jetta, like I mentioned, that they're using that stock photo. If they're using the stock photo themselves, that kind of defeats the purpose too. Because if the company is making that much money, they would just use a different. They would actually use like actual actors or like legit pictures. But going over here, Eric's asking, if you take trades on TradingView, can you still copy your trades? Probably not, Eric. I mean, there's probably a way to do it, but I personally don't know. I know there's a way to use a webhook where you can enter trades on your TradingView and it enters it on your MT4, which so that can still do it. But the problem with that is that you'll you'll still have some delay. It's not going to be direct. So you can there's ways around it to do that, but for the most part, I don't really see it being efficient overall. All right, guys. So if there's any other questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat, guys. I don't really see anything else for me to look out for here. This market has just been kind of dead. Like market opened right here at 6:30. You can see from the 3-minute, from 6:30 to right now, there's been 0 signals, right? Like literally no signals here on the 3-minute. We've been on the session for a little over an hour now, and about an hour 30 with no signals. On the 1-minute over here, let's see. So on the 1-minute from 6:30 till now, there's only been one valid entry in an entire hour. Generally in an hour, there's going to be a couple entries available. But looking at this from 6:30 till now, it's been about a little over an hour. There's only been one entry for a sell right here, a valid entry. So, just keep that in mind. Normally, there's at least like 1 to 3 entries available, including the extra breakout. But today, there just hasn't been any entries. There hasn't been very much solid volatility all throughout the session. So yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm gonna go here and check out the profits for the day. So let's see. Patricia, she took some sells here. So Patricia took some sells here. She locked in 10,000 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Jeffrey Abdi over here locked in 417. Nice work, bro. Consistency, man. So Jeff, yesterday was all wins. Today, all wins again. So as long as you guys stick to the consistency, you guys can easily add up your profits over time. It just keeps stacking up. Scrolling down over here, let's see if I'm missing anything else. Let's see. Pass this to Doug in real quick. Sorry, Doug, I just saw your message right now. Looking over here, so JR as well. JR locked in a total of almost 1,000. So 937 right here. One small loss there. Looks like it might have been an accident, but definitely great work right there, JR, with your profits off of US 30. So a lot of you guys did take some scalps here. Ken over here as well. He took a 3-minute scalp from earlier. He locked in a total of 849. That's where Ken. And Alan as well. So Alan said crazy morning, out for now. So Alan locked in some nice profit on NASDAQ. He was trading NASDAQ and US 30, locked in a total of 4,903. And then over here are most of his other trades. So pretty solid profits right here amongst a lot of you guys. Although I only use the strategy on US 30. A lot of you guys here to use a strategy on NASDAQ as well, and you do pretty well. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, Patricia sent me a profits here. She said done for the day. She locked in 10,070. Nice work, Patricia. And I think that's it. Eunice as well. Eunice showed me his profits. He said starting a new challenge, looking good so far. So he locked in about 1,065 today. He traded the DAX and he traded the US 30. So if you guys trade during the session, you guys can trade the DAX. If you trade during US session, you can trade US 30, right? I recommend using a broker that's actually for that specific session. Josh over here. So yeah, Josh always sends me this this GIF whenever Powell speaks. It's Jerome from how's the show called? From Martin. You guys remember Martin from back in the day? Semtex over here too. Semtex said done for today. I don't like the market today. So he locked in about 1,410. So a lot of you guys actually locked in a lot of profit today. I didn't trade at all on any of my accounts. So I don't have any profits of my own, but it's good to see a lot of you guys lock in some pretty solid profits overall. Mark over here too. So even Mark locked in 300 bucks here. He traded GBP NZD, GBP USD, and NASDAQ. So he didn't trade any US 30 today, but he traded NASDAQ, GBP USD, and GBP NZD for a total of 300 for today. So nice work, Mark. Definitely glad to see all that there. Yeah, other than that, if you guys have more profits to send over, go ahead and send them over. Otherwise, you know, we might be wrapping up this session a bit because there's not anything for us to look at. And also the news is coming up shortly with the Fed speaking. So there's like no point in us really taking trades without taking, you know, substantial risk because of all this stuff going on in the market behind the scenes. Also with the Fed speaking right here, I don't recommend you guys really trade right now because, you know, whatever they talk about can easily affect the market one way or the other. Let's see. Yeah, Mark said too risky for me today, taking your advice. Yeah, if you guys don't have to trade today, I recommend just sitting out the market. You know, you don't have to trade every single day. Like for me, I suffered no losses today, so I'm pretty heavy in profit for the week so far. As long as you guys are able to maximize your wins and minimize your losses, you guys can easily, you know, you guys can easily compound your account. The main key here is risk management, right? A lot of people think that the main key here is big profits. Big profits isn't the key. The main key is keeping your profits. So even if you have small profits, you can add those up. They can compound. Like I was saying over here, so like Jeff right here, right? Jeff had no losses. Today he had 417 in profit. Yesterday he had, let's see, I'll scroll over here. So let's see, Jeff, he sent his profits the other day with no losses. We have so many profits here. It's kind of hard to get through everyone. I think we have like at least 100 people sending their profits in every day. Let's see if I can find Jeff here. Yeah, there's like way too many people who profited here yesterday. It's hard to. Okay, but anyways, long story short is if you guys are consistent. So just looking at Jeff's profits right here, Jeff locked in 417, right? So the thing is, if you trade with me every day and you lock in this many profits, if you're trying to hit 6 figures a year, right? So say he locked in 417 and he does that 5 days a week, right? 5 days a week, 4 weeks in the month, 12 months in the year. That's 100,000 already. So you make 6 figures if you're able to take, you know, X amount of trades and just lock in about 400, 500 bucks a day. And that's how easy it is. You guys look at the long-term picture. It's not really that difficult. Main key is just to not lose. A lot of people go for the big profits and they want to be like a millionaire by tomorrow. It's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to blow your account because you're taking too much risk. If you use proper risk management, you consistently grow your account, you can easily reach those goals in a matter of time. It doesn't take that long. So yeah, guys, Maddie said not trading today at all. Market is way too weird. I agree. So yeah, like I mentioned before, guys, if you guys don't need to trade, I recommend just sitting out the market. If you guys want to trade, I recommend using a smaller lot size or use a tight stop loss because you don't want to get caught in a trade where you're entering a buy and then it ends up spiking down and you get stopped out right away, or vice versa, you enter a sell and it spikes up and you get stopped out right away, right? Because that's probably what's going to happen for a lot of these entries here, especially because right now the Fed or the FTC speaking, and then at 11 the Fed speaking again. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of back-to-back news. FTC speaking right now. Fed's going to speak at 11, and then at 11:30, Jerome Powell's going to speak. So when he speaks, he's going to definitely push price around. So just you know, just keep that in mind. So you know, just keep in mind your long-term goals, guys. Don't like think about like striking it rich in one trade. Think about striking it rich in 100 trades over the year, and to be consistent so that you guys don't blow your account and you're able to grow that account over time. But yeah, guys, so let's see. Yeah, Kenneth says, sucks not to get any trades, but trust the process. No, exactly. So I'll just go over the profits for today. Let me go ahead and see what everyone did. I'll scroll up right here. Here's a timestamp for today. Timestamp right here where it says today. We'll start off with Cheryl. Cheryl locked in 2,738. Albert locked in 743. Angela over here locked in 1,450. Vincent locked in 105. Tam over here locked in 310. Tam again locked in 1,176. Cheryl again locked in 4,493. Jay over here locked in 1,344. Tommy locked in 1,770. Joshua locked in about, I think, 3,000 right there. William locked in 1,203. Gary locked in about 4,000 right here. Justin Bugai locked in 572. Brittany locked in about 4,000 right here. Kimmy locked in 10,000 right there. Patricia locked in 10,000 as well right here, 10,070. Jeff over here locked in 417. JR locked in 937. Ken locked in 849. So a lot of you guys didn't have any losses today. Alan locked in 4,903. Again, right here, these are all of his trades. Eunice locked in 1,065 with a small accidental loss. It looks like it's only 56 bucks. That's not too much. Semtex locked in 1,410. And Mark lastly locked in 300. So if you guys have any other profits you guys want to send over, go ahead and send them over and then I can add them to the list. Abraham as well. Abraham locked in a total of 373. Nice work, Abraham. And then we got William over here for updated profits of 4,935. So definitely solid profits amongst everyone here. Like I mentioned, if you guys have a big account or a small account, it doesn't really matter. You guys can profit with us whether you're trading big lot sizes or trading small lot sizes. The main key here is just consistency of growth, right? I want to make sure that you guys consistently grow your accounts so that you guys, even if you're at trading a small account, you can be trading bigger accounts, a month from now or a year from now, and start making a lot of other people here are making. So definitely great work amongst everyone here. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do have a lot of emails to get through. I've been really lagged out on my questions over here. I mean, my emails. So I have about like 300 emails to get through today. And then if you guys want to message me on Telegram, that'll probably be a quicker way to get a response from me. So I'll catch you guys later or tomorrow for the next live session. If you guys have questions, just reach out. But other than that, have a great rest of your morning. And if you don't have to trade, sit out the